This is FBG Jenn.
And FBG Kristen.
And I'm FBG Margot, host and producer. You're listening to the podcast that will help you keep a lid on the junk in the trunk and inspire you to live a happy and confident life.
Each episode, we chat with motivational experts and celebs and share our own candid adventures in being healthy.
If you're looking for a podcast that's equal parts hilarious and enlightening, well then welcome to the Fit Bottomed Girls Podcast.
Today's episode is sponsored by Love My Skivvies, a monthly subscription service for undies that are as cute as they are comfy. And ladies, these are designed for workouts and your everyday life. Just pick your size and your style, and you'll never have to think about what's in your panty drawer again, because badass women need panties that live up to our adventures. Now, let's get into the show. Welcome back to the Fit Bottomed Girls Podcast. This is FBG Margot, and on the line today, we have FBG Jenn.
Hey, guys.
And we have FBG Kristen.
Yo.
And gang, it's our 10th birthday for the Fit Bottomed Girls. Whee!
I know. A decade at fitbottomedgirls.com is crazy.
Yeah, Jenn, you started this 10 years ago. Did you think you'd be doing this 10 years later?
I had no idea. I mean, I kind of hoped that, I do it for a while, but there's in the internet, there's no way to know what's going to happen. And if you're going to evolve or make it or life or no, I couldn't have dreamed that it would be this cool, to be honest.
Well, a couple of years ago, I didn't think this would be so. I didn't know how this would turn out, but I pitched you guys the idea of doing this podcast as just part of the Fit Bottomed Girl empire. And I've been having so much fun. And you guys, I wanted to read you a review. We're on Spotify now, which I thought was a big deal for us. We got a new fan. Her name is Jo, and she sent us this 5-star review on iTunes. And guys, please, if you love the show, please leave a few stars and review on iTunes. It really helps with our standing in Apple Podcasts, so other healthy-minded people can find our show. And this is from Jo, you guys. I discovered this podcast 2 weeks ago, and I loved it so much that I'm all caught up. The FBGs are relatable and make you feel as if you are listening to your friends talking. The diversity of topics and guests is amazing, and all of them show that there are many different ways to improve and live a healthy life. Love, Jo. So, Jo, thank you so much. And then she sent us a really great letter, email, and you can find us at podcast@fitbottomedgirls.com because we were calling out and saying, hey, do you have any suggested topics for us? And she gave us some really great ideas. So I wanted to give a big, healthy shout out to you, Jo.
Yeah, well,
Thank you,
she
Jo.
She found us on Spotify, but she went over to iTunes to leave the review.
Yeah.
That's dedicated.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's really nice.
Thanks.
And I will say, if you guys listen to podcasts on Spotify recently, if you're not an Apple, iTunes kind of person, but you're on Spotify, they actually make it really easy now to kind of search and find stuff and download it. They've really improved things there. So I'm happy that we're on there and that she found us there. And then, took the time to then go somewhere else to leave us a review.
That was incredible. Yeah. Thank you so much. So for this episode, we want to do something special. It's the 10th birthday of FBGs. So Kristen, do you want to give everybody the idea of what we're doing today for the show? It's a little different. I was a little nervous when you sent the notes around.
Yeah. So like you said, we wanted to just change it up a little, do something fun. And, we felt like because we are very much right now about celebrating Fit Bottomed Girls, who better to interview than us, because we have so many amazing guests on, every week, and we love it. But we thought this would be kind of a good opportunity to just have a little bit of a different conversation. So we took a page from Vogue, which is not something that I normally say in my real life, and went with their kind of 73 questions type of format, except there are 3 of us and we wanted to divide it up equally. So it's more like 60 questions. And then we just did kind of a rapid fire, quick, easy, random questions to one another. There's a lot of laughs. I think a couple of surprises. It's, I thought it was really fun. I enjoyed it. Did you guys, or did you think it was stressful?
I thought it was fun, and I really did learn some new stuff about you guys, and I want everyone to know before they go into this that Kristen, and I actually didn't realize this about Kristen until just a few days ago somehow. I didn't know that she was a wedding DJ in a past life.
Wait, what?
Yes, I know. So
I didn't
Kristen
know
was
this.
a wedding DJ. I know. So that's why I had to pop in some questions about best song to play at a wedding, worst song to play at a wedding. So that's why she's actually an expert on wedding songs.
Oh,
and
that's
music at
so
large.
funny. Okay, and then Kristen was asking me questions about books and movies. I actually started podcasting with my friend Margot, and we are still 4 years later. We're still podcasting. We have over 100 shows, and it's book versus movie, so that's why they bring it up here. So yeah, this was really fun. I mean, I got to know a little bit about you guys. I was a DJ too in college.
What the heck?
You were?
I was in junior college. Yeah, just before I went to San Jose State, Chabot College out in Hayward, California. Shout out. And I loved it. But I had to work like my shift. I had to play like the super old, like the Ray Conniff Jubilee, like that kind of stuff. You guys don't know what that is.
What were you DJing for?
It was for the college. It was just to
It
get
was
some
for the
credits.
college.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it had like a 2-mile radius or something like that. So, but it was great experience, like putting songs together and doing intros and outros. Like here I am, 10 years later. Wink, wink.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I'm doing that for the podcast. But I made that realization the other day, like, oh, that's where I learned how to do transitions and stuff like that, and things shouldn't be more than 2 minutes and blah blah blah. So that's where that Chabot training comes from.
Wow.
Who knew?
Oh my gosh, guys. I'm
Yeah.
going to have to go be a DJ just so I fit in here and have some sort of street cred now.
You need to do it at least once, and then for the 100th episode, we could talk about it.
There you go.
So I say we just get right into this episode today, you guys. It's our 10th birthday. Jen, thank you so much for creating the Fit Bottom world. I mean, we really,
Yeah.
Kristen and I both really are grateful.
Yeah, I am grateful that it kind of took off. And I will say, just a quick plug, if you go to fitbottomedgirls.com this week, there are giveaways, there are special posts. We do our awards. So there's the fitties, the nashis, the mommies, the zennies, the coolest stuff that we've tried, reviewed, absolutely love, and you need to know about. Best posts, there's going to be a special workout, like so much fun stuff going on. And the giveaways, I mean, are always great, but this year they're particularly amazing. So definitely go to the site, check it out, subscribe to our email, make sure you are in the know because it's going to be a fun week.
Party, party, party.
Party.
And enjoy this interview because it's super fun.
Yeah. So here we go, you guys. It's the 60 cues for the FBGs. Remember, this episode is sponsored by Love My Skivvies, a monthly subscription service for undies that we absolutely adore. Ladies, you got to check them out at lovemyskivvies.com. Okay, that's LUVMYSKIVVIES.com. And for being a listener, you can even save 25% off your first month. Just enter the code FBG, that's for Fit Bottom Girls, FBG, at checkout, and you're good to go. Again, that's lovemyskivvies.com, LUVMYSKIVVIES.com. Welcome back to the Fit Bottom Girls Podcast. Here we go. 60 cues for the FBGs. Ladies, are you ready?
Woo!
Born ready.
So, Jen, because I usually go first, I'm going to ask you a set of questions. Are you ready? I'm dying to hear your answers.
Yes.
Okay. What was the first official workout you did?
The 29-minute workout on VHS tape. I stole it from my mom.
Who did it? Who was the tape? Who was the...
I don't even know who it was.
Okay.
No idea.
No idea. All right. Second question. Favorite Instant Pot recipe?
My African chicken peanut soup recipe.
Nice. What was the best job you've ever had?
This one.
Easy. What was the worst job you ever had?
Freaking Old Navy over 4th of July with the damn $5 flag t-shirts.
Oh, no. Okay. Sheep or goats?
Depends on the sheep or the goat, but overall, I'm going to go small goats.
Love it. Okay. Your proudest fitness achievement?
Running a marathon with my best friend.
Red or white wine?
White wine during the day, red wine at night, bubbly all the time.
Your favorite time of year in Kansas City?
Fall.
Okay. And favorite time of year to get out of Kansas City?
Basically any time but fall, especially the spring.
So where do you want to go when you leave KC?
California or Kristen's pool?
Nice.
Kristen, I'm now asking you questions. Ready?
Let's do it.
Who would you want to eat a salad with?
My grandma Sarah. I never had the chance as like an adult to do that, so I would love to do that and just pick her brain and talk to her about nice things.
Sunrise or sunset?
Both, and preferably in the same day and at the beach, obviously.
Favorite beauty tip?
Eyes or lips, don't go overboard on both.
Best race memory?
crossing the finish line at the Augusta 70.3 with a completely genuine smile on my face.
High fives. Best song to play at a wedding?
Anything that's really genuine to your relationship with the person you're marrying.
Worst song to play at a wedding?
I Will Always Love You. It's not a love song.
Dogs or cats?
Both. I can't choose.
3 beach must-haves?
Sunscreen, water, and a book.
Favorite book?
Fates and Furies by Lauren Groff.
Favorite guilty pleasure book?
Outlander, although I'm not even all that guilty about it. Like, I think it's just really good, but it's also like a lot of sex. But it's really good. All right. Now I'm taking it over to Margot.
Yay.
Margot, where did you grow up?
I grew up everywhere. I was an IBM kid. So I grew up in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut. And then eventually landed in California, where I went to college.
What's your favorite screen adaptation of a book?
I think it's going to have to be To Kill a Mockingbird because I think they're both perfect.
Is the movie ever better than the book?
Yes. All you have to do is read Jaws, and you'll know that's true.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to do that. Going out with friends, do you want to do brunch or dinner?
This is my conundrum because I go to bed early, but I like dinner food better than brunch food, so it depends on what's going on the next day. But if I have to choose, it'll be dinner because I can have wine.
All right. What's your favorite Instant Pot recipe?
Anytime it's just a protein and some mixed veggies and a peanut sauce, I am super happy.
What's your most memorable celebrity encounter?
I met George Clooney. I was working an event, and I was convinced that it was him and John Cusack, and I was convinced they would both be total jerks, and they were actually really, really nice. And I have a big picture of him on my wall, George Clooney, with me. So that's my favorite encounter.
What's the best song to spin to?
I would say it's actually the producers, VC or Dr. Dre. Anything by either one of them gets the room going. So I would just say it's those two producers I really prefer.
Has a book or a movie ever changed your life?
Yes. I think I was 9 when I got a big stack of Judy Blume books. And then they became like my whole world. And I'm still like the biggest fan of Judy Blume. And I did get to meet her when I worked at Child Magazine, and she was super awesome.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give yourself at 16?
Just give yourself a break. Don't be so nervous, and don't be so worried about people accepting you or fitting in. Just be you and enjoy it.
Also good advice now, right?
Yep.
What's your favorite part of doing this podcast?
It's all the people I get to meet. And, there's sometimes when it's like the Google Calendar will pop up. I'm like, oh my God, we got to do an interview right now. Do we have the questions ready? And I get all agitated and nervous. And no matter what I'm feeling, there's always at some point in the podcast where I learn something from somebody, or I just laugh, or I just feel close to a person. And that's my favorite part. It's just I always get something out of it.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep asking you questions, Margot. What was it like to teach your first spin class?
I was so nervous. I was pacing my apartment, and I actually said out loud to myself, I have no right to teach people. I don't know anything. And then I went in there and I did fine. So that's how I felt.
What was your first pet's name?
It was Buffy, and my parents really loved beagles, and she was adorable.
Oh, do you prefer to wear leggings or shorts when you work out?
Leggings.
How long have you lived in Brooklyn?
Over 20 years.
What's the biggest difference between when you first moved there and now?
When I first moved here, it was considered the cheap place to go. New York City was super expensive, especially the Upper East Side. Now, where I live is actually the most expensive part of the city. But I have a rent-stabilized apartment, so shout out to me.
What's your favorite activity to do in your rent-stabilized apartment in Brooklyn?
Hang out with my cats and watch Netflix.
Would you live anywhere else?
Of course. I mean, I would love to live but it needs to be like a coastal city. I'm kind of a snob that way. But yeah, I mean, I've been here a long time. I could live someplace else.
What do you think the best place to ride a bike is?
I love riding out from my apartment, going out to Far Rockaway. You go out to the beach, and then they have these great taco trucks. And then you load up on tacos, and then you try to wobble your ass back home on a bike. And it's like the best day ever.
How would you describe your cat?
They're both amazing. One is just beautiful and a sweetheart, and the other one's a gigantic pain in the ass, but I absolutely love both of them.
What's the first podcast you ever did?
It would be from my friend Margot. She used to have a podcast called She's Nacho Mama, and she was not able to go to Fit Blogging one year, so she asked me to be a guest on her show, and we talked about Fit Blogging, and then she got back to me later and said, that actually got the most downloads I've ever had. You and I should do more shows together, and now she's my regular co-host on Book versus Movie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
Kristen, I'm going to ask you questions. Okay. What's your bedtime routine?
Well, it starts early because I'm not a night owl, and I am fanatical about washing my face, and I've got like a whole system of things that I use on it. I brush my teeth for a solid 2 minutes, and then I really like to get in bed and read for a little bit until I feel like my eyelids are drooping, and then I fall asleep. And as we've discussed, I sleep really well.
And what's one bad habit you've successfully broken?
When I was a kid, I was a tiptoe walker. Like from the time I could walk, I would just walk on my tiptoes only. And my parents started giving me $1 a week if I would go a week without walking on my tiptoes at all. And I don't know how long it took, probably not very long, because $1 a week was a lot of money to like a really young kid. Yeah, so I broke that because I really wanted that $1.
That's awesome. I did the same thing. I took ballet lessons and I used to do that. What TV show are you loving?
I am obsessed with The Handmaid's Tale. I know that I'm behind the times and season 2 is coming, but I'm watching it with my girlfriends and it's everything.
Have you ever gotten tongue-tied around a celebrity?
Yes, I had a phone interview with Sean Connery, and his voice is so iconic, and that like his assistant really made a lot of build up to it, and he got on the phone and was so nice and so polite and like invited me to come to this charity event in New York, and I was just stupid. And he couldn't have been sweeter about it. Like he was so used to it. But yeah, totally tongue-tied.
Athleisure, is it appropriate for date night?
I think it depends on where the date is and with whom the date is. But generally, I'm going to say no. I think that should be kept for more like casual, daytime stuff.
So your go-to shoes that aren't made for running?
I have a pair of Birkenstocks that I wear basically every day.
Wow. Okay. Beer or wine?
Oh, it's a really tough choice. So I'm going to say I probably veer more toward wine, but I probably know more about beer.
What's your favorite thing about traveling?
I really love getting to know, which is surprising because I don't really love people that much, but I love meeting people from areas and hearing a little bit about where they live and then trying to experience some of that for myself.
And what's a skill you really wish you had?
I wish I could surf.
And what's the hardest part of traveling?
Leaving my animals at home, which is probably why I go around and I pet every dog and cat I can find. All right, Jen, what is one thing that everyone loves and you are just not that into?
I have no desire to watch Game of Thrones.
Me neither.
Me neither.
None.
None. Zero.
Although Aquaman is in it and he's pretty hot, so I'm thinking but I think that's only season 1. Anyway, all right. Stay in or go out?
I think when I was younger, I would say go out, but now stay in.
What's the first thing you thought of when you woke up this morning?
What time is it?
Mexican food or Italian food?
Mexican, all the way.
Tell me about the very first blog post on Fit Bottomed Girls.
It was a welcome letter, a mission statement, and kind of an outpouring of my soul for what I wanted the future to be.
What is your favorite workout trend that you've witnessed?
Intervals in general, but specifically HIIT.
What's the most ridiculous workout trend out there?
Anything that touts itself as helping you to get teeny tiny muscles or to be itty bitty. Yeah, no.
Name one word that would describe you as a child.
Self-directed.
Name one word to describe your daughter.
Self-directed.
If you could pick one person in the world to work out with, who would it be?
Michelle freaking Obama.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great answer.
Oh, because she wouldn't complain. I mean, she'd be like into it, motivating, and want to and you could just watch her arms. It'd be awesome.
It totally would be.
Yeah, that would be. This was really fun.
I learned a lot about you
It
guys.
was fun.
I know.
I know.
Those are good questions.
Agreed.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to do this again. You
I
guys
know.
let us know what you think. Because we had fun. We want you to have fun.
Yeah. And let us know if you have any questions for us. Podcast@fitbottomedgirls.com. We'll have our 100th anniversary show coming up, you guys. 100th anniversary, 100th episode. Sorry, 100th episode's coming up.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's a 100th anniversary, then my nighttime routine that I'm doing on my face is working exceptionally well.
Those intervals are doing us very well.
So
All
good.
right. Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for everything, Margot. You're amazing.
Agreed.
I'm recording all of that.
You should.
Love this show? Tell us why in a 5-star review on iTunes, and we'll read it on the air. Also, make sure you are a subscriber. If you want to reach out to say hi or have a question about a recent episode, yay, well, feel free to email us at podcast@fitbottomedgirls.com. And if this podcast jives perfectly with your brand, consider sponsoring the show. Get more info by emailing advertising@fitbottomedgirls.com. Find all kinds of Fit Bottom goodness online and on social media at Fit Bottom Girls, Fit Bottom Mamas, Fit Bottom Eats, and Fit Bottom Zen. And if books and movies are your thing, check out the other podcast I co-host called Book versus Movie, which you can find anywhere where you search for podcasts. Thanks for listening.